Greetings. Here, stuck on a freeway with all the other humans in our failing transportation system. Good times, good times. But I was trying to remember this quote. I don't know if it was Reed, Sir Walter Reed, somebody, I don't know. But the idea, it's really coming to me now that all these data centers are coming on, how much water they're going to need and stuff. How much environment they destroy and energy and water that they need. And they're all trying to compete with each other. It's not like society, we're saying, hey, we got these new tools now. We got quantum computing. How many giant aggregations of computers that can do the data do we really need? How many of those do we need, right? But according to right now, the rush for everyone to compete with each other, they're all trying to get their own. They all hate each other now. The tech bros that started on things together. Now they, okay, you got an AI. Well, I'm gonna have one too. I'm gonna have one too, bro. Mine's gonna be bigger than yours. Whoever gets a bigger, process more data faster. Okay, we're gonna get the contract, government contract. You know what I mean? It's just lame what it is right now. It's so anti-environment. It's the last thing we need. Actually, pumping out a bunch of individual cars, even though they're electric. Also not what we needed. We needed trains. We needed high-speed rail. We never got it. It's 2025. It's almost too late now. You know what I mean? But it's never too late. So that's the thing, we're humans. We're failing as a species. What about our soul and stuff like that, But this quote that I remember, I'm not remembering it correctly. It's something like, only those that are apprentices to nature are fit to wield new technologies. Something like that. And if that's not it, okay, then it's a quote by me. Only those that are apprentices to nature. In other words, humble, serving, learning, open mind, but working, going with what you know. That's how an apprentice to nature, all of it. Now, if you are having that mindset, if that's your main thing, and then you want to build, some new, faster, cooler quantum computers or new ways for humans to do transactions or stuff like that, that's okay, right? If you're not in tune with nature and you're just kind of a limited mind human control freak, like a lot of humans are now, unfortunately, if that's kind of your angle, then unfortunately you're going to be doing it wrong, and you're not, it's not right what you're doing with the technology. It becomes another tool of oppression, another limiting factor, another thing that keeps us back. Have you ever noticed? The internet, right? It changed. It's changing. It's not open anymore. The irony is that when Sam Altman and Elon Musk started this open AI thing, and Elon kind of had this idea, like he didn't like the way others had gone, how they turned into just dumb tools of capitalism, partisan projects, so forth like that. He actually truly wanted it to be open AI. And actually, he wanted to be in charge of it, not Sam, and they had a little competition, and he got pushed out. And so that's okay, that's what happened. These things happen. But the thing is, we never got the AI that's not partisan, the AI that's open and good and has good intentions and aligned with the broader human values. Instead, we're seeing an AI emerge that's the AI of China competing with the AI of Americans. Trying who can control more, who can monitor more. We have to be able to monitor all the humans and every transaction they do and where they're going and geofencing and all. It's just horrible. And if we could have the Library of Congress on the internet for free, that every kid can just grab his tablet. Boom. Mom, I want to read the Iliad. Okay, here it is. Boom, the Iliad. It's right there. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have to do anything. The Library of Congress is just there. Things that are already out of copyright, 20 years old, they're Creative Commons now. the Beatles. We shouldn't have to pay some service to then have it hide real Beatles music from us and play imitation Beatles music back to us, right? Because theoretically maybe Sony owns all the Beatles. These kinds of things are horrible. Our capital belongs to us. Our intellectual capital, our intellectual property, our cultural history, our nature, our beaches, our mountains, our mesas. These are ours. They belong to the human species. They belong to, not the human species, they belong to every species on the planet right now. It's also anthropomorphic to say they belong to humans. What I'm saying is they don't belong to one rich asshole that puts his name on it. That's not the case. And so we're wrong right now. We're on a bad path. And we need to think about the future and think about preserving waterways, preserving nature. We don't need AI right now. We're doing okay. I mean, it's this competition to be the next big thing. Well, whatever, man. The next big thing is preserving the water that's still here. Water is precious. At this point, anything that's indigenous, anything that's the way it was before the stupid Spaniards started to conquer this continent, whatever, anything that's left that's kind of the way it was, we need to kind of leave that alone. They're in a little pocket. We're talking about 1%. And then you got plenty of forest that's second growth forest. You got plenty of forest that's already impacted. You got plenty of things that are already impacted by us that we can keep being good stewards of, keep using for resources, so forth. But the energy in the water that the AI are going to require, we need to be thinking about that, and we need to get some control over these tech bros, not just tech people. That's kind of sexist and, not very nice. But these technologists that want to become sort of techno-authoritarians, and they're setting themselves up right now to become those techno-authoritarians. And we need to deal with that, and we need to do it kind of soon. And we need a vision of love, understanding, lifting others up, taking care of others, building things that last, creating communities. This is what we need to think about, focus on, okay? Out of the spirit of love, compassion, mutual aid, and stuff like that. And we've been through such a rough ride. It's just been getting psychological trip ups and fake pandemics and just getting slammed with stuff over and over again. Real pandemic, fake pandemic, just whatever. Our vaccine weirdness. Now this measles thing just came out of nowhere. I mean, what the heck, man? We already solved measles. We know that. Why is it back? Because then Nazi jerks that want control of everything need to have control mechanisms. They loved the COVID pandemic as a social control mechanism. It was actually quite awesome. And it was a way to kind of cull thin the herd too, also because the way they suppressed natural remedies and ivermectin, early treatments, at the beginning of it, it did result in a lot of people dying. A lot of elder people were packed together in poorly ventilated places with known positives. Exactly what you wouldn't do if you were a real doctor managing. You would do things called a quarantine, a real quarantine, not a lockdown. A quarantine is real, where you're taking the known positives and isolating them. We never did that. And then we also, like I said, alienated real early treatments, and we never wanted to use vaccines that were available. What was available the whole time? Attenuated whole virus vaccine. Could have been given that the whole time. No, we're waiting for this mRNA thing. You just got to wait for Pfizer and Moderna's answer somehow. And a lot of the libtards still can't acknowledge that happened. So we're kind of stuck, but we need to get beyond that. We need to forgive people that were duped, or forgive people that didn't get the vaccine, or just forgive each other, right? That was a psychological operation. It was really rough on us. So we need to be kind to ourselves, kind to each other. The messaging on NPR was ubiquitous. There was no way you could escape it. Any dissenting view about COVID was thoroughly suppressed. If somebody was trying to remind you, hey, by the way, if you've already had COVID, you don't need to continually be freaked out still. Maybe you've recovered from COVID and you have natural immunity. See, people weren't even allowed to say that. Just what was allowed to be said was, stay freaked out. Are you freaked out? You gotta be freaked out. Do you hate that guy? You need to hate that guy because he's not wearing a mask. Hate him. stay freaked out and be freaked out. And just, did we mention being freaked out? Yeah, okay, cool. Stay that way, but keep it kind of in a panic, low-level panic about this. We're not ever going to get a control on it. You can't control it. You don't have any agency. That thing of learned helplessness once again kicking in. So we need to get back our agency. We need to get back our media. We need to do it in a spirit of love.